Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. This trip has been one we'll never forget. 3 big dogs, one little minivan, and thousands of miles of open road, all leading us from the hills of Pennsylvania to the warm beaches of the Florida Gulf Coast. We've seen mountains, lakes, and endless skies, but what made this journey truly special was seeing it all through Emmy's eyes.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Emmy, your favorite Chesapeake Bay Retriever with a soft dead grass coat and a big heart. I've got two brothers, Indy, the wild Lab-Husky mix who thinks every road is a racetrack, and Hunter, the calm brown Chessie who's basically our pack's gentle giant. And then there's Mom, the one with the map, the snacks, and all the love in the world. Together, we're hitting the road through rain, sunshine, and a few too many muddy puddles to find something magical at the end of the map, Bonita Springs, the dog beach where the land meets the sea.
So grab your coffee, buckle up, and come along for the ride because this isn't just a trip. It's a story about freedom, family, and the simple joy of chasing waves with the ones you love.
Hi, everyone. It's me, Emmy. If you've been following our adventures, you already know. I'm a Chesapeake Bay Retriever with a big heart, a soft brown coat, and a nose that can smell a biscuit 3 miles away. But this story, oh, this one is special because this time Mom packed up the minivan, our rolling home on wheels, and said the words every dog dreams of hearing. We're going on a road trip. I didn't know then how many states we'd cross, how many smells I'd memorize, or how big the ocean could look when we finally reached the Florida Gulf Coast. All I knew was we were together, Mom, me, and my two best pals, my big retriever brothers. And when Mom turned the key, our journey began. Pennsylvania mornings have a kind of smell that sticks to you. A mix of wet earth, pine needles, and old barns. Mom had been busy for days turning the minivan into something magical, our camper. She laid down soft blankets, tucked in pillows that smelled like home, and filled bins with treats. I watched her from the couch, tail thumping every time she smiled. When she opened the van door that morning, I jumped in before she could even call my name. My brothers followed, one Chesapeake, one Lab-Husky mix, both wagging so hard the van rocked. Mom laughed. Easy, crew. We've got a long way to go. And then we were off, rolling through Pennsylvania hills, past red barns and fields dusted with fog. Out the window, I watched the world grow smaller behind us. Each mile took us closer to something new, something unknown. I pressed my nose to the glass, and the world smelled like adventure. The next day, we reached Maryland. My namesake land, I guess. The Chesapeake Bay stretched out like a dream, wide, calm, and shimmering under the morning sun. Mom stopped at a little park by the water. She opened the van door, and all three of us leapt out like rockets. The sand was cold beneath my paws, but I didn't care. I ran straight into the shallows, barking at the waves that tried to catch me. Mom sat on a picnic blanket, camera in hand, smiling at us like she always does. That quiet, heartful smile that makes me feel like I'm the best dog in the world. She said softly, "You were made for this water, Emmy." And she was right. I swam until the sun climbed high and the bay glittered gold. Later, we napped in the van, salty, tired, happy. The van creaked gently, and the breeze smelled of home and freedom. Virginia felt warmer. The trees changed. taller, fuller, greener. Mom sang along to old country songs, her voice mixing with the hum of the tires. We stopped at rest areas shaded by oaks and magnolias. People smiled when they saw us. 3 big retrievers hanging their heads out the window like a furry parade. In one little town, Mom found a dog-friendly trail near a river. We walked for miles. The path was muddy and every stick looked like treasure. Mom laughed when I came out of the river covered in mud. "Emmy, you're more swamp than dog right now." I wagged anyway, because for me, that's joy. Mud, water, and Mom's laughter echoing through the trees. That night, we camped in a quiet Virginia park. Crickets sang, fireflies blinked, and the van glowed softly inside. Mom read a book by lantern light while we curled up around her feet. I remember thinking, this van isn't just a vehicle. It's our little home that moves wherever love takes it. By the time we reached North Carolina, the air smelled sweeter. Pine and salt and sunshine. Mom found a campground tucked between tall trees with trails winding through the forest. We woke up early every morning. Mom brewed coffee on her little camp stove, and we trotted beside her, noses in the cool air. She always said good morning to us like we were people. "Good morning, my babies," she'd say softly, scratching behind my ears. And my tail would thump against the van door, steady as a drum beat. We hiked to a lake that sparkled like glass. My brothers swam first, splashing each other. I followed, slower, watching dragonflies skim the water. At night, the stars looked close enough to chase. Mom pointed at the constellations and told us their names: Orion, Cassiopeia, the big dog. I liked that one best. South Carolina felt different. The trees wore gray-green moss like old stories hanging from their branches. The air was thick, heavy with the scent of magnolias in summer. We stopped in a town called Beaufort. Mom loved the quiet streets, the pastel houses, the way the river bent and shimmered. There was a park by the water where dogs could walk off leash. I met a local lab named Daisy. She showed us the best spots to sniff and the shallow edge where the crabs hid. Mom sat on a bench watching the sunset, camera in her lap. She whispered, "You dogs don't even know how lucky you are." But I think we did, because happiness doesn't need words. It just needs moments like this. Paws in the water, breeze in our fur, and the sound of Mom breathing softly beside us. That night, rain pattered on the van roof. We curled up close, all 4 of us, one human heart surrounded by 3 furry ones. I drifted to sleep to the rhythm of the rain, dreaming of beaches yet to come. Georgia was long, wide roads lined with fields and sleepy towns. Mom stopped for peaches at a roadside stand. The man who sold them gave us each a scratch behind the ears. "Best traveling crew I've seen all week," he said. Mom laughed. "They keep me sane." He smiled. "Looks like they keep you loved." I liked him. He smelled like sunshine and kindness. We drove through hours of golden fields. Mom hummed. My brothers slept. I stayed awake, watching the horizon. Sometimes Mom reached back and brushed my head. No words, just that touch. And in that moment, I knew everything was exactly as it should be. That night, we stayed near Savannah. Spanish moss everywhere. Slow rivers winding through the marsh. Mom cooked dinner in the van, and we watched fireflies blink like stars that forgot how to rise. When we crossed the Florida state line, Mom cheered. We barked in chorus, our own happy howl. The world smelled new here: salt, sun, seaweed, and promise. We passed palm trees and bright blue skies. Mom rolled down the windows, letting the wind rush in. I stuck my nose out, eyes closed, and thought, this is what joy tastes like. We stopped at a park near Gainesville, then again by the coast near Tampa. Each stop had its own kind of beauty: beaches, trails, smiling people who always wanted to pet us. But Mom had one goal in mind. She said it softly one night as she looked at the map. Bonita Springs, the dog beach. That's where we'll rest. We reached it at sunset. Bonita Springs Dog Beach, a slice of paradise made just for us. No leashes, no fences, just water stretching into forever. Mom opened the van door, and we sprinted. Our paws hit the sand like thunder. The Gulf water was warm, soft, and endless. I ran until the waves pulled at my fur. My brothers splashed beside me, barking into the wind. Mom stood by the shore, shoes off, laughing. Her hair blew across her face, and the setting sun turned everything gold. I swam out a little, far enough to feel the waves lift me, to look back and see her watching us. In that moment, I understood something deep. Something dogs always know before humans do. That love is not a place, it's a journey. One that smells like salt and freedom and home. We stayed there for days. Morning walks on the beach, afternoon naps under the shade of the van, evenings with the ocean whispering just beyond the open door. Mom let us run, swim, dig holes big enough to hide in. Every night she brushed the sand from our coats and whispered, "You're my whole heart." We watched sunsets together, the kind that make the sky blush pink and orange. The air was soft, the water calm, and for the first time in a long time, everything felt still. I remember lying beside Mom, the waves just a few feet away. She looked at us and said, This is what I dreamed of." And I wagged because I knew exactly what she meant. When it was time to leave, Mom stood by the van a long time, watching the water. We could tell she didn't want to go. Neither did we. But sometimes home isn't about where you are. It's about who's with you when you go back. As the van rolled north again, I watched the ocean fade in the mirror. And I thought about all we'd seen: Pennsylvania rain, Chesapeake waters, Carolina pines, Georgia peaches, and the golden sands of Florida. Each place gave us a piece of its heart, and we gave it ours in return. Mom hummed quietly, one hand on the wheel, the other resting on my head. Her eyes were tired but soft, and I felt something warm inside, the kind of love that makes you safe no matter where the road takes you. I curled up between my brothers, listening to the hum of the road, and drifted into dreams. Dreams of the Gulf, of waves, of Mom's laughter in the wind. If I could tell you one thing, it's this: life is a series of open roads waiting for you to ride them with the ones you love most. And when you find a place where the water meets the sky and the sand smells like freedom, stop for a while, breathe, live it all in, because the best journeys aren't just about where you go, they're about how it feels to get there. Until the next adventure, love, Emmy. And just like that, the sun sinks into the gulf, painting the sky in gold and pink, just for us. We came here chasing the sea, but what we really found was something even better. Time together, Mom, Indy, Hunter, and me. Three tails and one heart leading the way home. I think that's what life's really about. The people and the paws who travel beside you.
Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. If you felt even a little of the love we did, we'd be so grateful if you'd like, share, and subscribe. It helps us keep the adventures going. Until next time, travel gently, love deeply, and always keep your tail wagging.